and she's now at the high school taking art. So they have an opportunity after school in 6th grade, during school in 7th grade, and during 9th period in 8th grade to take art. So,
As long as an art teacher applies for it.
and I did just want to, I wanted to let my colleague, Ms. Dreska, she wanted to say something. Oh, Ms. Reed.
So as the only board member here who has a parent of a 5th grade student, I did publicly acknowledge and thank the art department for the beautiful portrait of my daughter. So I just want to make sure that that is known, because I'm sitting here on my hands like, oh my God, I can't believe that. I'm sorry I didn't mention it here, but I did it almost immediately. When I took a picture, posted it, thanked Mrs. Lee McCallie and the 5th grade student, for all of the 5th grade, not just my daughter, but for all the 5th grade portraits. So I just want to let you guys know that.
This is going to be our, no, you can come up. Our last comment, our 30 minutes has actually expired, but we'll let one more, since I didn't give you guys warning.
Kathy Engelhardt, 2661 Park Avenue. It's been a while since my kids have been in the middle school. I'll be having one come up now, and I know that they're coming back to the team, which I'm very happy about personally. I just had a question. What has been the art experience since my kids were in high school? When they were in high school, they had at least every other day, I guess, of art for the full year of 6th grade and 7th grade and 8th grade, I believe. No?
No.
Not as an
I don't
option,
recall
but
when my
as
kids were
part of
there. I
their
can't
class.
remember what 6th grade was like.
So I couldn't answer that question only because it depends who your child is. If you have a child who is has special education services, for example, in whether it was an 8-period day or a 9-period day, within that period day you have to get whatever is required by the state, and then if you're pulled for speech or you're pulled for resource room or any of that, that's going to be part of the day. And those students, some of them did not get technology, or they didn't get art, or they didn't. It depended how their schedule was. So every student is different. So it would be hard for me to say.
Okay. Well, let's just
going
say
back historically what I can tell you is what I said before, and that's that in the 14-15 since the 14-15 school year, 15 to 20% of 8th graders received art, and 60 to 80% of 7th graders received art. So it's never been a situation where every student had art in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Part of this is completely out of our control. If the state says you have to have a half a unit of technology and a half a unit of art and a half a unit of music, and in middle school, 3 units of math and 3 units of, it's the state that determines what the structure of that middle school day is. And in middle school in particular, there's very little flexibility. When you get to high school, you have a lot more flexibility because you have 4 years in which to, get all of your requirements, and that leaves a lot of opportunity for non-requirements.
one of the problems I find with the academies is that it's limiting in what the children can choose, because their electives are determined by the academy, which sounds great on its face, but I have 2 kids. One was in the academy, a medical academy. Mm-hmm. Both of them very talented in art. One took all the years of art and is now using that, I feel, with a landscape architect, is what her goal is in college. The other has been unable to take any art at all because she's been pigeonholed in this academy, which is great. She gets to explore these things, but offering the academy in 8th grade is further limiting, in my opinion, and forcing the kids to choose only these types of things, whether it be an art academy or anything else. And now, if the child is in 8th grade and has an art interest, are they unable to take an art elective if they have room in their schedule?
No, so in 8th grade, it's not an academy, it's a pre-academy.
Okay.
And so the school day officially ends after 8th period in the middle school. I brought in pre-academies to 9th period last year. So when the cuts happened, you went from a 9-period day to an 8-period day in the middle school. As of 2 years ago, every student was going home after eighth period unless they had, you know, I think it was AIS
Or music.
And a music class that they couldn't fit into that eighth period day. Two years ago, I brought in pre-academies to the eighth grade. And what that did was it said for any eighth grader who wants to stay for ninth period, they can do that. Year one, I think we had 13 choices of pre-academies that spanned everything. Last year, I believe we had 15 choices of pre-academies. And we're running full buses after eighth period and after ninth period. So any eighth grader who wants to take any pre-academy, whether it's art or journalism or TV studio, whatever that is, they have an added opportunity now in eighth grade to take 4 different choices, and forget about the word academy, to take 4 choices of courses of their interest over the course of all of eighth grade.
And so that academy is offered just in the ninth period. It's just that one class.
Correct. Correct. So the 8 period day is your 8 period day. The ninth period was an opportunity to open it up for any eighth grader that wanted to explore one of 4 different choices, because there's 4 quarters. They can take a different one each quarter. That was an added opportunity. That didn't limit people. And then when they get to the high school, and I hear what you're saying in terms of the high school schedule, but, you know, it kind of is what it is, right? I mean, if you choose a medical academy, you don't have to be in the medical academy. You can choose not to be in an academy at the high school and to take whatever classes you want to. I will tell you that going into next year, one of the things that we are focused on, this year we focused on the middle school schedule and the structure of the schedule because we wanted to bring teaming back, because the teachers wanted teaming back. So we focused on that. We focused on making sure that every kid had the opportunities that were required for middle school. And going into next year, one of the things that we're going to focus on is looking at the high school schedule, because what we do know about the high school schedule is where you place classes matters. So for example, if you place, you know, all of your AP class, I'm exaggerating for the purpose of illustration, but if you take all of your AP classes and they're all third period, well, I can only take one third period class, right? So we're going to be focusing on the high school schedule next year. It won't affect next year, it'll affect the year after, but to look at where the placement of courses are so that we can maximize opportunities for all of the kids, regardless of what, you know, what their interests are. But
And now, selfishly, since I have a 5th grader that's going into 6th grade, she will not have an opportunity to take art as a
not
class.
in 6th grade, but in 7th grade,
class.
the art club, correct.
Yeah, a club isn't a substitution for a class. I mean, you would never have math club instead of math. So I'm just concerned that she doesn't have an actual class opportunity to take art class next
And
year.
so my understanding is that never was there an opportunity in grades 6, 7, and 8 for every student to have art in all 3 years. Some kids did, all kids did not, ever. That's my understanding.
All of my kids did.
I said some kids did, all kids did not.
Thank you very much. All right, can I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Mrs. Reed, second by Mrs. O'Hagan. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you all for coming out. Have a good night.